Welcome back to the Western Michigan University Haworth College of Business virtual mentoring app setup video. In the first video, we showed you how to get access to the app using the invitation and the temporary sign-on credentials that were sent to you or will be sent to you from the College of Business. In this video, we're going to demonstrate really how to use the app. So once you're in, here's what you do. And I'm going to start with by showing you that there's basically 4 screens, and you'll notice on the bottom of this screen that's shown, the outline of the 4 screens. There's the dashboard, the chat room or chat screen, there's the schedule or calendar, and the settings. And I'm going to walk you through each of these to give you an overview of how to use these. But note on the dashboard, which is our first screen that we're on, there are basically 3 sections to this that I want to highlight. The first on the top is the total number of mentees that you've had since you signed up. In this case, the number 3. That's 3 mentees that you've participated or you've guided or you've helped with during in this process or using the app. The second section of this screen is the middle screen where it says Next Mentoring Tree Meeting. That is the calendar. So if you have a meeting set up with your mentee or mentor, in that section you will find a reminder of when the next meeting is going to be. In this case, it's 8 o'clock in the morning on December the 27th. The third part of the screen is what I call the mentoring tree. The mentoring tree can be anywhere from 1 to whatever number the College of Business will permit. And in this case, this mentoring tree has 2 mentees. It could very well have just 1 and still be functioning appropriately. But you'll notice that there's a mentee's name, a little bit about them, the industry that they're in. And then the number to the right is the number of days remaining in the relationship. In this case, the top mentee, there's 86 days remaining. And the bottom mentee, David 352, there is 104 days remaining. When it gets down to 0, the College of Business will either allow that relationship to continue or it will end. Right now, the number is said to represent the number of days in a semester, which in this case could be anywhere from 120 to 150 days. Now, if you were to click on either name, you would get a profile of that person. And it shows the industry that that person represents, the school they're in, will show the generation, and then what it is they want to achieve with their career aspirations. You'll also notice that you can report that mentee. If that mentee said something or did something inappropriate, you hit the report button there, and a message would be sent to the administrator of the app informing them that you are reporting this particular mentee. Or if you wanted to block this mentee, you could do that as well. So that's how you use the profile section, and that's how you use the dashboard. The second screen that I want to highlight is the chat screen. This is where all the communications will take place. You'll notice here that there are 2 sections of this screen. There's the mentoring tree of the chat, which is where, again, I said that's a group type meeting or everyone. And then there's one-on-one meetings. So the mentoring tree, the very top, is a room where the mentor can talk to all of his mentees at the same time, whether it's 1 or 5 or 10, whatever number is assigned to that particular mentor. That mentor can talk to them all at the same time by simply opening up the room. And you can see here there are some test messages sent in here. These messages would be sent to the entire what we call mentoring tree, which is everyone in the group or team or whatever name you want to give that group. The message would go to all of them at the same time. The other thing that this screen allows to do is to have one-on-one conversation. So if I'm the mentor, I can have a conversation with Al 375 or David 352, one at a time. And the other cannot see that discussion that I'm having with them. And so I could send something to Al separately, or I could send something to David 352 separately. Those would be 2 separate conversations that only I can see and only they can see. Now, the beauty of being a mentor is I can see all the conversations at the same time, whereas they cannot. The other thing that's unique about the app is in the conversations, we added a feature where you can share documents. So you see the little paper clip down by the where you enter messages. If I hit the paper clip, it will allow me to select from two sources, either Dropbox or Google Drive. Now, you notice we did not allow to send messages or information from your phone. And the reason why we did that was we wanted to protect the privacy of every user. So there's no way that a person can get anything from your Dropbox or your Google Drive and get access to your email or how to reach out to you. That's impossible. So you can go simply to the Dropbox, and I will just open up my Dropbox to show you an example of things that you can do. So if I were to go to my career or leadership, let's say leadership, and I pick a file, I wanted to, let's call it 5 key moves, or I don't know, I did 5S levels once. I'll just do that again just for the sake of argument. And what you'll see is the file shows up. So so that's what that is, and that does work well. So, and you can do the same thing with other files as well. The other thing I wanted to show you on here is schedule. Here's where you can schedule meetings to set up with your mentor or mentee. You simply hit the plus button, and then you put in a title here. You know, I'll just put test, and I'll put another test. And then, do I want to meet with the mentee? If it's the mentee, it's going to ask me which mentee. You can see there it's Al 375 or David 352. Now, if it's just one person you have, it'll just be one name that will only show up. Since there's 2 relationships I have to. If I had 5 relationships, all 5 would simply show up. Or I could send a note to the entire mentoring tree. And so if I were to select the mentoring tree, it would just go to the entire tree. So both David and Al would get a note from me indicating that there is a meeting set up. It's going to ask for the start time, when that meeting is going to take place. I don't know, if I were to say, I don't know, let's say today, I'm going to set up a meeting later on this evening for, how about 8 o'clock at night? 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to set up a meeting. It's going to start. And then I'm going to, once I do that, I'm going to come down here. Let me get that started. 1 second. I'll put in my end time. I didn't put my end time in, so I have to put the end time in. Today it's going to be 9 o'clock. Oops, wrong way. Let's go this way. 9 o'clock. And then once I do that, I simply hit create. You'll see it says meeting schedule request sent successfully. Okay. And now that meeting is set up. You can see his test today from 8 to 9. And if I were to go to my dashboard, you should see that meeting shows up right there, 8 o'clock tonight. So, and you can edit these meetings. You can delete them. You can change them. But there's a way that you can go in there and edit it to your heart's desire. The last section is the profile section or settings section. And this is where, after you've gone, and remember you've set up your temporary password, temporary username, all that stuff, and you're now in the app. Now you need to come in here and make things a little bit more permanent. So if you wanted to change your username to something else, you can do that. If you wanted to change anything in your profile, you can edit this and go in and change. But remember, your email address is extremely important. That's important that you do not change, because it is the only way we can send you a reset password. If you change your email, then you will not be able to change your password. So you can change everything else, but we prefer you not change your email address, as it's the only way that we can reach you. And again, here's where you change your password. You put in your old password, you put in your new password, you confirm it, and you submit it, and your password changes to something that you can remember. There's notifications if you want to turn them on or off, pretty much the way you do any app today. Nothing special about that. There are tips on how to be an effective mentor, how to be an effective mentee, and how to use the app. That is captured here as well. And then there's a help screen, and a help screen is where you, if you're having problems with the app, you simply would drop down here. Is it a login, sign up performance? Is it an app performance or something else? And you put in a description here of what your problem is. And then when you hit send, again, a note will be sent to the administrator of the app and will report the issue that you're having, and then someone will get back to you to try to resolve your particular problem. And then the last screen is simply to log out. It's just going to allow you to log out. Do you want to log out? Do you say yes? And once you log out, boom, you're out and you're back to the beginning of the app. So that is the Western Michigan University Haworth College of Business virtual mentoring app. You're able to play this video over again and over again. If you miss something, you want to go back, I'd say go back through it. As I tend to talk fast at times, I would simply play it back and get whatever you did not miss. If you feel like your issue is not resolved, please contact the administrator at Western Michigan College of Haworth, or you can reach out to 30togive.com as well. But again, enjoy the app. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to